The purpose of going live is that that's how we let people watch the recording of the Thought Leader Thursday. So welcome and turn it over to PJ Stanley.
All right. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm very excited about hearing more about what we can do at the beautiful and lovely Unity Village. And so, Denise, thank you so much for agreeing to be here today, and thank you all for being here. And we can see what all we can do. But let's just before we get started, let's go ahead and open up with a prayer. I want to call on Michelle because she does such a lovely job praying, and not that the rest of you don't, but I'm familiar with hers, and so.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so lovely to be here. And again, welcome to all of those of you who are popping on and popped on since we said our official good morning. So let's just close eyes if that feels comfortable to you. Take a nice deep, deep, deep breath all the way down into your diaphragm. And do that one again. And this time with your exhale, just let your body relax. I like to even say soften. Let your body soften. Let the chair support you fully and completely. And then allow the chair supporting you fully and completely to be a metaphor for how that infinite spirit, the very essence of life, all that is, was, and ever will be, supports us. And that we can soften into it. Always and in all ways. So we do that right now. Allow ourselves to become fully present, fully available to the time that we have here as each of us comes to the table, divine to divine, God being to God being, with open hearts, receptive ears, and a readiness to feel, even though we're miles and miles apart, to feel the sacredness, the holiness, the transformative power of Unity Village. So I'm so grateful for this time that we have, so grateful for Denise for giving of her time and energy and love to be with us. Grateful for every beautiful soul on this call and those who watch later. We call this time not just good, but very, very good. And in the calling of it, it is. And in the knowing of it, we let it be. And so it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you so much. What a beautiful, beautiful prayer. Again, welcome everyone to Thought Leader Thursday. This is just such a lovely time for us to learn about all kinds of things that are going on in our world and the outer world, the greater world. We have such great speakers and intellects and people that just do a number of things around the world. And so I'm just so excited to be able to have Denise here today to talk about what all we can do with Unity Village, because I'm just one that just comes on the, in October for Anton's fabulous 6, 7 days, however many days we're there, just for our family reunion, as we call it. But there's just so much more, obviously, that you can do. So I'm really glad that she's here. She's the director of events and partnerships at Unity World Headquarters. She's been a student of Unity teachings for more than 25 years, discovering Unity by accident in 1997. And she was inspired, as many of us are, by the teachings and the power of prayer, and so inspired that she persuaded her whole family to move to Lee Summit outside of Unity Village so she could be so much closer to Unity Village and fulfilling her dream of working at Unity World Headquarters. So she served as a prayer associate, a letter writer, manager of Unity Online Radio, and just so many things. She's also I can't remember, I'm not sure I'm even saying this right, Veriditas, uh,
Veriditas.
Veriditas,
Veriditas.
trained labyrinth facilitator. Good to know. So she's here today to share with us and with all of us how individuals and groups can enjoy retreating at Unity Village. So again, Denise, thank you so much for being here. And the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I just did the math before the call to see it's 27 years, and I found Unity in 1998, which
Mm.
seems like a really long time ago.
Doesn't it?
Funny story. So I'd had a lot of tragedy in my life. Some of you have heard this because I see a lot of familiar faces, but I'd had a few tragedies, and I had grandma's voice in my head saying, "You need some church in your life, young lady. This is what you need. If you had church in your life, you'd be doing much better." And so Sunday morning, I got up, got ready to go to church. I was raised Catholic, and I knew I didn't want to go to a Catholic church. So I'm literally going down Berry Road up in North Kansas City, and there's a church, and the service is going to start at like 10 o'clock. So I'm barely there. So I go in and I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, I'm Denise. I'm here for church." And they said, "Well, the women are downstairs cooking, and the men are upstairs taking care of the business of the church."
Mm.
And I stood there for a minute and I said, "I can't cook." And I turned, and as I turned, I looked across the street and there was a Unity Church. I'm like, okay, maybe that's it. So I went across the street to a different church. And when I walked in, the service that day was with Maurice. And Charlene, you have to remind me his last name, actually. Maurice Williams. I only saw him the one time, and that was all I needed to transform my entire world.
Amazing.
He had, it was like an angelic experience, and I just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. I'd never been in a church. Joe Sloan was one of our ministers, and I was taking notes during church of how to improve my life, and I'd never had that happen before. So it just evolved and evolved. And my husband came home. I said, "We need to move out to Lee Summit." He said, "Why?" And I said, "I want to go pray at Unity Village." And he said, "Okay." So we did move. We moved out here to Lee Summit, and we got unpacked. And he said, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "I'm going up to get the job to pray at Unity Village." And he said, "Okay." And then he came home and he said, "What'd you do today?" And I said, "I went up and got the job at Unity Village to pray." Like, have you not been paying attention? And it was more of a me falling into it rather than it was a calling, I would say. It was truly a calling. I knew it was where I was supposed to be. And I've been here ever since for the most part. And I love these grounds. And I love what people experience when they come to these grounds. So we all know about the big events that we do, the Celebrate Our Souls, ANT, and the large events. But what's really sweet about Unity Village, and those are all transformative and lovely, and I love it when everybody comes home. But what's really special is the smaller groups too. If you come with just a few people and really immerse yourself in the space at Unity Village, the sacred grounds, people don't really know what it is. I don't know if it's I don't know if there's words to describe it, but they are drawn to come here. We're a bucket list item. People wait their whole lives to come to Unity Village. So it's been my honor and my joy to be here and to be a part of so many different people's experiences as they come to Unity Village. And the thing we forget about is self-care. So that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about is self-care at Unity Village. So all of you are serving and taking care of people all of the time. But do you carve out time to come home? I mean, and without an agenda, without a plan, without a meeting, without a phone, just to come home and spend time here walking the labyrinth, spending time in Myrtle's Grove, spending time near the fountains. There's something about that water that just simply changes your whole energy. So I know where my favorite spots are, but there's a lot of people on here who have been here. So would you be open to sharing your favorite spots at Unity Village? If you could just pick one.
The trails.
Trails. Yeah,
Myrtle's Grove.
that's one of my favorites.
I've never heard of that.
Next time you're here, let me know and I'll take you out. It's a sweet little spot. So there's just a lot of different things you can do. One of the fun things we have now is 3 different archives. And I've invited Mark Fuss to join me so he can speak to the 3 different archives that are now at Unity Village.
Well, and I see we also have Reverend Kathy Mastriani here as well. So yes,
I didn't even plan that. It worked out.
right. Well, so Kathy has been a part of the New Thought Archives Consortium, and they meet monthly with all of the different archives for goodness, 6-7 years now.
Yeah, since 2017, I think it was.
Oh, okay. 8 years now. And last year, the Science of Mind archives and Library Foundation moved to Unity Village. And then this year, the International New Thought Alliance moved their archives here. So we are all working together to create a New Thought archives destination at Unity Village, a place, a repository for the history of New Thought, for ministers, researchers, and the general public to learn more about New Thought. And I think we're just really beginning to explore the synergies of what is possible. Incorporating each other's archives on tours when we have groups coming to the village. We've talked briefly about having a New Thought Archives symposium. And so there are just all sorts of possibilities there. And like Denise, I would echo the invitation to come for respite, for self-care. And I know she's going to talk about some of those opportunities.
So we've discussed the archives. I want to show you, if you'll let me share, Bill.
I'm sorry, you said 3 archives and I got 2, Science of Mind and INT. What was the other one?
Unity.
Oh, hello.
So am I able to share? Yes.
Yes.
So let me share with you one of the things that is really lovely. And I think there's a couple people here who've actually stayed in some of our Airbnbs. But to get away with a small group at one of our charming Airbnbs, we have 3 of them on property now. And Therese, I think you've stayed in one of them recently, did you?
I've actually stayed in all of them, yes. And yes, sign up soon because they fill up fast.
Yes. But they've become this unknown thing. We didn't know they were going to take off, but Fillmore Manor was our first Airbnb that we did, and people liked it and they kept coming. You can have your own food. I mean, it's just nice. So you're on grounds, but you're kind of tucked away to your own devices and your own resources. Then you've got the Hummingbird Chateau, which is the brand new one. It's got a huge patio out front, huge patio out back. And church leaders have brought small groups here. Terry Murray is one that comes to mind. She brought her a dozen people, and they did programming on both sides of the house, some in the front, some in the back. There's a beautiful fire pit out back. That's beautiful too. There it is. I didn't even plan that. See, right up. And then the third one is the Hummingbird Vista. And so that one is a little bit smaller. It sleeps 10 or sleeps 12, depending on how close you want to sleep to people. So if you get ready to book one, we should talk about that because there's multiple beds in some rooms and some of the counts include 2 people in 1 bed. So it just depends. But they're all nicely appointed. Everything you would need would be there. Then you have easy access to the trail and to Myrtle's Grove, to the labyrinth, which is the largest paver labyrinth in the United States. Has everyone heard about our labyrinth?
Mm.
We didn't mean to make it the largest. It just happened by accident, kind of. But it was when it was created by Debbie and Marty Kermeen. Debbie, they would take these stones to my retreats. It was in I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 3 years ago. I would have these retreats at the hotel conference center, and there'd be this wagon of stones in it. And I didn't know where they came from. They showed up and then they were gone. And the third time it happened, I got in my little golf cart. I went over to Debbie and I'm like, Debbie, what are you doing with all these stones in the hotel conference center? We're having a retreat. She said, oh, people are putting blessings on the bottom of those so that we can now build them into the labyrinth. And I said, awesome, good job. So you can actually feel the energy of all of these people that came here. There was drum circles that happened around the labyrinth, blessings underneath them. It's palpable. The energy on the labyrinth is palpable, and it's something that you could spend time on. We had one minister who moved back to Kansas City or to near the village, lived across the street and walked it 365 days for a year, transformed her life. So the other fun thing we have here is the 12 Powers Garden, which is a nice place to get lost. It circles the tower, and you have each of the 12 powers: release, imagination, power. I'm not going to list all of them, but it's a really nice place for contemplation and relaxation and reflection as well. So You guys tell me what questions you have about Unity Village, and I will do my best to answer them.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump in with a couple of questions I have as you're talking. So none of this was I ever aware of that we could do this. And so I guess my question is, like, how do you, like you say, come for self-care? So how do you come and book for self-care in these places? You just call the, ooh,
So if you call the
wow,
hotel and book a room, all of those spaces are open to the public. And you can do
okay,
it at your leisure. So if you want to do the 6:30 a.m. labyrinth walk, you can do that. And if you want to wait until sundown, you can do that. So everything is open and available to you as you would like to use it.
okay. Is there like a main place? Because you talked about, walking the labyrinth and going to Myrtle's Grove and the fountains and all of these different things you just mentioned. Is there like a I don't a menu for better words, but
Yes,
where yeah, how do you find each and every all these things that are available? How do
I
we
will
know
email
where
it
those
to
are?
you. It's called a free time schedule, and it's probably not online, but it's probably a good idea to put it online. But it has lists of all the things you can do in free time at Unity Village.
Oh, great. You just put that in the chat?
I don't have access to it like that, but
And
I'll get
Denise,
it to you.
can you explain about your map that you created, please?
Oh, I
Thank
could.
you, Teresa.
So the map I created. It's only funny because when I got here, there was 172 different variations of this map. And everybody had put everything on it that they ever thought anybody would need to know. We didn't have numbers on the buildings. So if you came and depending on what era you were at Unity Village, you would say the Silent Unity building or you'd say the atrium. And unless you've been here for 25 plus years, you don't always know what all of the names of the buildings were.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we put numbers on them and we still use the names respectfully, but we put numbers on them so that anybody that comes can actually find where they're going and instead of
Well,
going
that's great.
education building or the atrium so that was fun. But it
Yeah.
does help you get around. So the map is obviously, thank you, Therese, for that. A great way to figure out how to get around the property and see the things that you want to see. But I will
And what
get
was the
that.
other time you tell me about the free time something? Are you
Free
emailing
time
that to
schedule. I
me?
don't have access to it right now, but I'll email it to you.
Okay, you will. Okay, then I'll just make sure that we get it to
Perfect.
Bill, and he can get it out to everybody that's on this call and anybody else who wants it. That'd be
Perfect.
great. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll also put a link to that in the video. You can
Perfect.
watch
Oh,
the replay of
wonderful.
this on
Yeah,
YouTube.
great.
Denise, I'll just jump in for a minute
Please.
too on PJ's question around how you could do the respite. So the hotel is on the Choice Hotels reservation system.
Okay,
So if you're a Choice Hotels member, you can find Unity Village Hotel and Conference Center.
thank you.
You can also call the Unity Hotel direct. And then all three of the historic homes are on Airbnb. So if you just search
Oh,
Unity Village, you
okay.
can book direct through Airbnb
That's
um,
great.
on those. So it's really easy to arrange a respite or even a small group retreat. Although if you're bringing a small group retreat, I would say reach out to Denise as well so that
I get you.
there are other amenities and tours and things that we could provide for groups.
Wonderful.
I think Stephanie Bland, you were trying to do a family reunion here, right? And then we're getting the dates lined up. So there's lots of different things to
Yep. Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
So
Michelle, you have your hand up there?
I do. This is so beautiful and wonderful. Thank you, Denise and Mark, so much for giving us these insights because I'm kind of like PJ. I come for our retreat. Many, many times I've come for the retreat, for the Anton retreat, and I do Anton retreat, and I don't necessarily take as much advantage of the grounds as I could. So, however, my question is, very important question here. So if one did do a personal retreat or had a small group in one of the beautiful Airbnbs, since there's the only food on campus, unless you're bringing it in, is the Fillmore Cafe. And while I love the Fillmore Cafe, the menu is somewhat limited. How does one eat if you're there, not at a conference that's hired a caterer?
So back in the day, we used to be pretty far away from everything, but there's a ton of restaurants within a stone's throw from this property.
Okay.
Uber, Dash. If you have a car, you can run to the grocery store, obviously, but there's a lot of restaurants really close by that would, and DoorDash changed everything for me. I'm not gonna lie. But they DoorDash to the property, and you usually have to meet them at the hotel so they don't get lost, but they do bring food to the. We used to only have pizza out here. Now you can get all kinds of stuff. So
Okay. So there's nothing on
thank you.
grounds specifically for
Right.
that. But okay, great. Yeah, yeah, you guys are doing a lot of
Snacks and
things. So.
gluten-free macaroons are in the cafe.
Ooh.
It's their signature item. It's really good.
Excellent. Excellent. See.
I have a question, Denise. Can anybody come to any retreat that you all put on? That Unity Village hosts versus like Anson hosts their own, but the ones that I think they're called Come Home to Unity. Can
Yes.
anyone come to yours? Okay.
Yes, of course. Of course. Reverend Therese just led a retreat here and transformed lives of about 27 people. Did a grief retreat.
Yes, and there were brand new people there who walked around, as most people who are new do, with their mouth open because of the amenities, because of the access that you provided for us to see the labyrinth, to go to, have a little tour inside. So thank you for being. Denise, what I know about Denise after 20 years is she says yes and then figures out how to make it happen. And it may take a moment. It may take a moment, but that's what I know about her and Mark and how they're running this department.
So the back end of that is I'll say yes, and then I'll go to Mark and say, hey, Mark, I did a thing. He'll be like, what thing did you do now?
Bill, you have your hand up.
I do. We're talking about going to retreats at Unity Village. So, of course, later on, I'm going to mention the annual Anton retreat, which is the first week in October. And it's become the first week in October at Unity Village for quite some time. It's deep within. It is going to be a spectacular retreat. It is open to anybody. You can go to the website, antn.org, to register for that. The music director is Ricky Byers. There's some other really fun stuff going on. But I did want to mention that I inadvertently did a one-day retreat at Unity Village last year because the day that I was going home from an organized event was the day that all of the airlines kiosk systems crashed. So I got to spend an extra day at Unity Village, walking the trails and enjoying the quiet and solitude. And even when it's not planned, it is a spectacular place to be. I was going to try and figure out how to get myself partway home, and I realized, wait a second, I'm at Unity Village. I'm staying.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you for that.
Excellent.
Those are the divine ideas that come at the right time. I love it when those happen.
Absolutely. Kathy, you have your hand up?
You bet. Well, the Science Mind Archives did just have our grand opening weekend just like a month ago. I don't know how time goes by like that, but it was really spectacular. I mean, people are still talking about it. I mean, just every meeting I have, I mean, just about the grounds, just stepping on the grounds. I mean, I love Dr. Marilyn Leo, who is 90 years old. She just was just so pleasantly enamored. She just said, just even stepping on the grounds and then stepping in the archives, the Science Mind Archives. I mean, there was a lot of people in tears. I mean, you could just feel the energy. I see Michelle was there. I mean, just a bunch of you folks were there. Cindy, thank you so much. It's a sacred, holy place, and I love the mingling of new thought. We can feel the Fillmore. I'm sitting in Charlie Fillmore's, the grandson Fillmore's office right now as I look at the fountains and stuff. And so just what a blessing. And so if anyone comes, personal retreat or others, we're here for you. We're very open to tours and to show. I was actually just at Unity Archives. We have a new staff person, and we were just chatting, and we're just going to start meeting more regularly. Again, like Mark said, to see how we can play together.
Wonderful.
But it's history central. I mean, it's a place people have come for a pilgrimage, their personal pilgrimage already, and they'll just sit in the energy, and it's very powerful. So I'm just want to give huge gratitude to Denise and Mark and the entire team. Great caterers, just spectacular. We're just so pleased and so welcomed. We can say thank you.
So are we. That's why obviously we keep coming back. Anton, it's just amazing. people that have never come and have heard me talk about it go, okay, hey, when's it happening next? Can you go as a member? You can, hey, anybody can go anytime. Absolutely. Don't even think about that. Just show up. Thank you guys so much for what you do. Rob, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm holding back tears right now. My last visit to Unity Village was in 2016, and the grounds were looking pretty rough then. So this brings me so much joy to see all of the improvements and all of the energy going back into Unity Village. I lived in Kansas City for several years and had opportunities to be out on the property quite frequently. And I really miss having that close access.
Yeah.
I've got two different questions. One, I've been watching the Anton conference coming up, and it looked like most things were booked on campus and were booking up fast at one of the hotels. So my question is, are there other hotels nearby? I'm differently abled right now and I don't drive. So is there transportation? It sounds like there's Ubers and such that could get me back and forth if I was staying somewhere else off campus.
Those are your two questions. Is there a place? And then how do you get there? Are those two or are there more?
Those are two. Those are the
Okay.
first two.
So I think Anton regularly sells out, Mark.
Yeah.
Sells at the hotel.
Yeah.
I'm
Bill, do
trying
you have
to.
some thoughts on that?
Well, Denise can talk in detail about what's going on. Yeah, there's a Holiday Inn Express, which is pretty close by. There's an Anton block at that hotel as well. The procedure to go through is to get yourself on the waiting list at the Unity Village Hotel. That seems futile, but you never know. And then book yourself a room that can be canceled at the last minute at the Holiday Inn Express or a different property. There are a lot of other hotels in the area. You can find those out. What we tend to find is that there are usually a bunch of people who are staying at the Holiday Inn Express. So there's carpooling that's available because people like to have a car of their own. There are Ubers, there's ride shares that we can do. And Denise, you can speak with more detail. There are other events at Unity Village where everybody stays off campus because just the speakers fill up the hotel.
So Rob, a couple of things. If you call the hotel and get on the waiting list, I would tell them that you're differently able and you're looking for a room to accommodate you. And then you can call me or you can let Bill know, but we have golf carts on ground. So once you get here, we can get you around pretty easily.
Awesome, thank you.
It's a big campus, so I mean, we just want to make arrangements in advance for you to have a golf cart so that you can have some freedom.
That's wonderful, thank you. I have
And does
one.
he?
Oh.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just going to ask Denise for you, Rob. So does the cart come with the driver or he has to drive the cart himself?
You have to drive it yourself.
Okay.
Are you able to drive a golf cart?
I can drive a golf cart.
Okay.
I can't drive a car right now.
I will tell you that just having that freedom at an event center, people are very thrilled about having that because you don't have to be reliant on anybody else. You can get in your cart and go.
Beautiful.
Only in the approved areas, though. You can't go off-roading.
No off-roading.
Shoot. I thought there was going to be some races, but okay, whatever.
Wonderful. I have one other question, and it's
Yeah.
about the future of Unity Village. And it's kind of a two-part. How do we get involved with you all about visioning for the future of Unity Village? And then I have been praying every day for over a year now about New Thought University at Unity Village with the College of Unity and the College of Divine Science and the College of Science of Mind. And I'm going to continue to vision that until it happens because as a ministerial student with Science of Mind, Centers for Spiritual Living, I think I'm enjoying my experience, but my roots are in Unity. And I miss the fact that I don't, as a ministerial student, have the ability to dip across the teachings as I'm growing into my ministry. So I just want to put that out there as a prayer and as a visioning for the future. And thank you so much.
I hear you. I think we've been visioning that for a long time.
Yeah.
Mark?
Yeah, I can jump in on the future of Unity Village a little bit. And Rob referenced how things looked in 2016. And interestingly enough, 2016 is when our current CEO, Reverend Jim Blake, came back as CEO. And We invested a lot of time in the employee culture, in building for the next 100 years of Unity. Unity Village is now 106 years old, started out as Unity Farm. So, change is constant. And a lot of energy and thought has gone into not only the grounds, but the culture. And that it's been Jim's vision to bring all of New Thought together and to have Unity Village be a place. I remember the early conversations around the Science of Mind archives, and the conversation within all of the New Thought organizations is, how do we share who we are without losing who we are? And I think New Thought is ready to move beyond that stumbling block and say, we can be together in a place that is Unity Village and still retain our own unique teachings, the flavors of New Thought that we are. And speaking specifically to the land and the future of the village itself, we are in the very early stages of a comprehensive land plan. I don't think I'm giving away any secrets. It was shared with our board for the very first time at the beginning of this month, but essentially looking at how to be good stewards of the land, to preserve what needs to be preserved, and looking at things like lodging, where we sell out the hotel on a regular basis. How do we expand lodging? One of the things that's been discussed is a upscale RV park with single room cabins as well that would expand lodging, possible expansion of the hotel. And really looking at what are the districts on this 1,200 acre property, and what would the focus be? Like a great lawn out in front of the Goppert Event Center instead of a great parking lot. So just how do we bring the vision of the Fillmores back to life? Because that was what Unity Village was designed as. Unity Farm was bought as a place of respite for the Unity workers that worked downtown in Kansas City. And it's been interesting digitizing many of the Unity archives. That the entire Myrtle Fillmore collection is now available online to anyone that wants to go down the rabbit hole with Myrtle. But there are letters that she wrote about the vision for Unity Village, and just a place for all people to come and come apart for a while. So I would hold that for all of us.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mark. Patricia, you had your hand up for a minute.
Yes, thank you. I just love this topic. I put in the chat about what Dave said recently, but I wanted to share that the first time that I ever visited Unity Village was in 1999 with a Course in Miracles group that I belonged with. And the moment we got there, you talk about the time just seemed to expand. I mean, we got there early enough that we had hours before the actual it was a sacred silence retreat in May of 1999. And so the program didn't start until that evening after dinner. And we looked at our watch. It felt as if an hour had gone by, and it was only 15 minutes. And there were obvious miracles that occurred that week of that sacred silence retreat. And I was fortunate enough to capture a few of them on camera. So I have those photos. But I spent 17 years acquiring my license as a Unity teacher. So that meant multiple trips to Unity Village for courses. One time, in fact, we actually bought an RV just to be able to camp at Unity Village. The campground was kind of closed, but I got permission to bring that camper there and just plug in, because I think they had one receptacle available. And so I spent 3 glorious weeks there in classes during that time. And then in 2017 at the Anton conference, I also was ordained as a divine science minister. I just can't tell you how happy I am to see the Science of Mind archives, the International New Thought Alliance archives that contain divine science, and also the beloved Unity archives, where I spent many, many, many hours. And it's just wonderful. And then I just want to say this year that I just made a reservation so that because of Dave's comment about I love Unity Village, it feels like home. I just made a reservation to spend in August time there so that we can spend his birthday celebrating there.
Very
Anyway,
nice.
it's just glorious. It's just a glorious place. Unbelievable. Sacred space. Oh, and I just mentioned it on a call through the Scientific and Medical Network, which is all these scientists and medical doctors. They have a free, if you belong, if you remember, they have a free Monday dialogue, and the topic was sacred spaces. I featured Unity Village during that call on Monday, telling them some of it, and I was able to post photos, some of those miraculous photos that I took back in 1999. So
Beautiful.
more people are becoming aware of Unity Village.
Thank you. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Patricia. I'm going to get to you just a second, Edwina. Kathy put in the chat the Myrtle Fillmore, a link to the Myrtle Fillmore collection. So if you guys want to go to the chat and just click on that, so you have that. Thank you, Kathy, for doing that.
Thank you, Kathy.
Appreciate it. I'm sorry. Wait, someone had their hand up and they just went away. Who was it that had their hand up?
Edwina.
Had their digital hand up. If you're ready
It's
to
me.
call on you. Oh, there you are. There you are. Yeah, your hand went down. I guess they thought
That's
I
okay. I
was
took
with
it
you.
down.
Edwina, thank you so much. Yeah,
My
feel free.
digital hand was getting tired. I just want to say, so I've been to Unity Village several times years and years ago, 30 years ago, and it was so magical. I saw Byron Katie there for a weekend. I did a retreat there, and it was just a stunning property then. And of course, we stayed in a pretty dingy dorm that was not too exciting. And I'm just blown away to see the Airbnbs and some of these other things that that are happening there, and that there was even conversation about more developed, because it is a magical property and it is amazing. And I also want to say how much I love the idea of the universities and all these different groups being able to find that unified place that we're, all connected at. So I love that. But I also sort of want to know, where is the best place to see everything? Is it on the Unity Village website?
Yes.
There's a lot of sponsored things there too, right? For that aren't necessarily.
If you go to unityvillage.org.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
It has all the details there, and I
I'll
can
be
put my
looking for
email in here
opportunities to join
if you
some
have
of these,
questions.
because it's great.
And Edwin, I'm guessing you stayed in the old motels or cottages, which were built in the 1940s. I'd referred to them, they've been closed now for about 15 years, but I referred to them as a monastic experience. While the new hotel, we're very proud of our hotel. We've been part of Choice for 7 years, and for the past 6 years have been one of the top 2 Ascend Hotel Collection hotels in the country out of 400 Choice hotels.
That's amazing.
So,
and the
so
Airbnbs
beautiful...
and the idea of some other, kinds of alternative places, it's the ideas are like popcorn right now. It's great.
Oh, good.
I've put in a request to have hobbit houses built. It's still under consideration. And one thing I wanted to share that people may not realize, Unity Village is its own city. So we are outside of Lee Summit. We're our own city. So I think Mark was talking about the next plan, the plan where we're looking forward to what to do is to really be a city and mission-based city. So it's a combination of both. But I will also mention that Reverend Mark Fuss is the mayor of Unity Village.
Nice. Okay.
Love that.
So he is keeping us moving forward.
All right, in the presence of greatness. My goodness. Just FYI, I got you, Michelle, in just a second. Denise Griffin has put her email in the chat. So if you need to get in touch with her, please drop in the chat and grab that for yourselves if you want. Michelle.
Yes, thank you for letting me speak again. I have another food question. Apparently, I have food on my mind this morning. But I will also just echo what people have said about the campus. And Denise, I love when you said, I think you were the one who said, or Mark, you might have said it, that Unity Village is often on people's bucket list. And
Bucket list, yeah.
I back a decade ago or a little less, I had missed a couple of Anton conferences because of, no, I don't need to go into the details as to why, but I had missed a few Anton conferences, and then it was going to be held at Unity Village, the next one. I'm like, oh my gosh, bucket list item. I will get myself there. And then, of course, I haven't missed one since. And I love that we have made Unity Village the home of the Anton retreat. I love that. Now, my
We
question.
love it too. We love
Yeah.
it when Anton comes.
Yes, thank you. We're a beautiful match, right? Yeah. So if one were to come with a small group and stay at one of the chalets, is the breakfast that's in the hotel available to those folks?
It is.
It is. So there is food, there is breakfast always
There's breakfast,
provided.
yes.
There's
And it's a good breakfast.
It's a little breakfast, but it's a lovely little breakfast. For those of you who don't know, in the hotel every morning there's breakfast. So you you can get that even if you're not staying at the hotel, but you're staying on campus.
And they have a pancake machine that you watch your pancake get cooked as it goes around.
Yeah, and they have
I'm just
waffle
saying.
too. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. So,
It's
all right, I
pretty
think I'm done with my food questions, but who knows?
Now I'm hungry.
Thank you.
All right. So I think we're that's it with the questions. Denise, is there more that you want to share with us? Or actually, I'm sorry, I did have another question. So one of the things you guys said was, or plus one of you, that you booked the room via choice. So if you're going there and you're looking online and you're saying, I want to, go to an Airbnb and I'm booking a room in the hotel, then how do you then go ahead and explore Unity Village? Is there like a place in the campus that we go and say, hey, I want to explore the village? What's a list of things to do? So how do we connect those two things together when we're talking to people about visiting Unity Village? Anyone?
Mark.
Oh, so yeah, they would, they're at the hotel. There's an Explore Unity Village brochure that has the map and has directions to the hotel front desk staff. Will be happy to help. If you're here over a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Unity Gifts and Books and the Village Commons, which is a gathering area where we start a lot of the retreats. That's open.
And frankly, just email me. And
Yeah.
we have people on, we have a lot of staff on grounds all weekend. So just email me and
Okay.
let us know you're coming.
Okay.
And we'll make sure you're taken care of.
Yeah.
All right. So Denise Griffin's email is something you guys want to have in your book there. So if you need any questions about Unity, you can definitely talk with her about that. You also, I just wanted to mention too, you asked earlier about what were some of the I can't think how you worded it, but essentially what hit you about Unity, about the village. And one of the things that was the last time I was there was the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh,
was,
yes.
Oh my God.
That's a new addition.
Oh my stars. It was so wonderful and just such a great place of release and gathering with other people who, have lost whatever. We had a pet a gathering, people who lost pets, and just it's just such a wonderful spot for that. So that was really impactful for me.
I will call Unity Village the capital of synchronicities, but a friend of mine emailed me. We've been friends for 20-something years. She's like, I saw this rainbow bridge and I think we should do it here. And I'm like, okay. And so I just kind of planted it. And then Next Generation of Unity, the youth group, it's the 18 to 25, said, we want to come and do a project. And I'm like, hold on, I have a seed for you, basically. So they built that. That was their first project on grounds. But the metaphor of it was that it was a bridge from next gen to Unity to the adults. And then it was rainbow, and we had rainbow shirts that said unapologetically inclusive. And I think it was, Teresa, was it 5 people, 6 people?
There were 8, and they were between the ages of 18 and 35. And
They were moved. I
oh
mean,
my
every
God.
bit of love and passion they have was put into that project, and it was
Wow,
beautiful to watch. And it's a beautiful bridge out there for people to
man, and you can feel it when
you
you
can
just
feel
you
it.
feel it. You can feel it. It is so wonderful. So
And
it's very
one of the
impactful.
people almost didn't come because her pet had just died,
Yes. She
And
was a
that's
local
exactly what you
person.
need to
Yeah.
be.
but she came
Oh my
And
God.
anyway.
I want to give a shout out to Denise and to Jim and to Mark, because so we have a captive audience of these 8 people. And they took it upon, they had, of course, because just like all of us, they all have ideas. And Denise was able to coordinate with Jim and with Mark and everybody else, all the, Silent Unity and Ellen and all them, to come and hear ideas about how do we serve this next, they they've aged out of Unity, right? Like foster care, but it's Unity, they're churches. And at that time, so here to I was a witness to, and so was Denise and Mark, to watch these kids with no prep time, y'all, to then speak from their heart on how Unity World Headquarters can serve them. And I'm telling you, as a minister in the field, I still get verklempt. I don't
Mm,
have any next gen, but to watch World Headquarters take the time to listen to these people who are going to be the next people for us,
yeah,
and
yeah.
hear their ideas at the whole time, letting them all be silly with the paint on their faces and doing butt dances and all the things they were doing because they're kids still, while they made this magnificent bridge, and then spend time dedicating the bridge in their own prayers is what I was able to honor, to be with them during that time. So fabulous. Yeah,
It was
there's
It
prayers
is.
underneath those wood pieces and those
Yeah,
painted pieces as
yeah,
well, which was an
Yes.
idea that Denise shared. Yeah.
So that NGU group is near and dear. They came again this spring to do service projects, and they participated in a Nehemiah service project, and they were all over the property. The energy they have, um,
mm,
they are near and dear. I hear Myrtle in my head saying, "What will we do with the children or for the children?" And it's not about the little children. These are 18 to 35. They're growing up, and they're growing up in a world that they really need us to be able to
mhm.
lean on and to be able for us to be able to support them. So it's something that's pretty near and dear, and I love to watch them grow and explore, and it's just amazing.
Man,
They're just little lights. They're on fire.
yeah, just beautiful, beautiful things happening at Unity Village. All right. Denise, we're getting close to about wrap up time. What do you want to say or share? Denise, anybody, Denise, Mark, Kathy, what are some last words you'd like to leave us with?
I thank you for being here. It's my honor to be a part of this conversation and to let you know about this little gem in the middle of the country where you can, I don't know that there's words to describe it, as I said, but it's magical
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I
I
would
think the
say,
only thing I can, yeah, go ahead.
I would say, come see us. I see
Yeah, come
lots
see
of
us.
smiling faces, ministers and folks that I know
Yes.
on the call. It's lovely to see you. I see Reverend Kit Holmes, who's going to be the music for
World Day of
the
Prayer.
the World Day of Prayer this year, and the retreat that's going on that week. So we'd love to have you guys come.
Beautiful. Thank you. Any last thoughts or comments or questions from the group? What else would you like to know or have said?
Oh, hi guys. Hi
Okay.
Denise.
Hi, Jay.
I just did Nehemiah week with Denise and it was so
You
much fun. It was my
did.
first time.
You were
So
one of the joy-filled people I was referring to.
yes. I want to know if there's like a suggestion box, or if guys could create a suggestion box of what people would love to see on the village, because I also had, ideas of what I would like to see, and I'm like, hey, why not expand it to the whole community, And you never
Mark,
know what you might find.
you never know. Mark, is there an email for that you know?
Not specifically, no.
Okay. I'll
Hi,
see if
Mark.
That would be Denise's email. Hi, Jay.
That would be Denise's email.
I'm glad you did that, Mark, because I was going to do it. So good.
right
I
on.
wouldn't blame for that.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And it's great to
Kit.
see all your smiling faces as well.
No.
Hi, Charlene. So
Kit, do you have a question or a comment?
I just had a quick comment, and because I've been hearing the bucket list thing, that if it's on your bucket list, move it to the top. Just move it to the top of the list. It is, especially this time of year when it's in bloom and green and gorgeous. and in the fall and wherever else. Just go.
Okay.
I can't wait to
And
meet you in person. This is going to be exciting for World
Me
Web.
too. You, yes.
Lovely.
so my question to all of you that have been is that if you know, because I've had some friends talk about Unity Village, and I know that we do stuff, you know, for Anton. I know that's a great week with all kinds of things going on. So if someone's saying, I want to go, did you think that it's best that they go when there's something going on, a celebration, something they can, you know, specifically step into, or just go on their own? Then how would they get a, you know what I mean? How would they
Yes,
best experience it is the question.
all of those. It depends on what they're looking for.
Okay.
We do a lot of retreats with specific content. Prosperity, getting ready to roll out a Sacred Abundance for 2026. We've got Karen Drucker coming this fall, and she's doing the Heart of Healing. We've got Fillmore Festival, so if you want to go deep into the legacy of Myrtle. So there's something for everybody or not. I mean, it just depends on what they're feeling called to do.
Right. All right. So the retreats that you have at Unity Village, you can go online and you see the retreats that you have. So you don't have to be invited from the retreat group. You can just see that this is the retreat happening, and you can just say that I want to go to that particular retreat. Is that how? I
Correct.
didn't realize it worked that way.
Yeah, and
I know
that's at
that.
unityvillage.org too. It's our retreats calendar at unityvillage.org.
Okay, retreat calendar. Okay, good to know.
Mhm.
Retreat calendar. Okay, good. We'll share that. All right. So Bill, Michelle, is there anything that you want to? We have this captured group. Do you want to share some stuff that's going on with Anton here with them while we're here?
I would be happy to do that. And antn.org, the website, whoops, they're showing up over my shoulder. All of the events are listed there, and I'm actually going to go through them sort of into the timeline, ending with the retreat that's happening at Unity Village. We do meditations online every Wednesday evening or afternoon, 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock Eastern. It's 15 minutes long. Get together with friends and connect. Once a month, we do a call to prayer. That's on the second Tuesday of the month, so it'll be June 10th. That's for half an hour, 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern. On demand, as needed, we get together to be present with each other. So there's been some, stuff going on in our government and our country. So we are getting together again on the 15th of June, so Sunday afternoon, evening, 4 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock or 7 p.m. Eastern time, just to spend an hour talking to each other, break out into small groups. What's going on for you? How can we support you? How can we hear you? How can we be present for each other? We've done 2 of them already. It is remarkably powerful. It's one of those things that's just so simple to explain or to describe, but the impact is profound. So we're doing another one of those. Once a month, we do one of these Thought Leader Thursday things. It's the last Thursday of the month. The next one is Tama Keith's Learning to Trust Yourself. She's an author. She's going to be joining Pjae on the last Thursday in June. Every quarter, 4 times a year, we do a workshop. They're free to Anton members, nominal costs to non-members. The next one is coming up in September. The host who's doing that workshop, you might have heard of, Mary Morrissey, is going to be joining us. And now I'm to the annual Anton retreat. This is going to be a fun one. It's called Deep Within, and what we're doing is we are, instead of going out and getting outside speakers and bringing them in to talk to us, we are taking people who are already part of the Anton organization, the group of people who are coming to the retreat anyway, and we're taking the platform ourselves. We had 30 people apply for speaking positions and whittled it down to a fabulous lineup of presenters. It's going to be the first time that Anton has been in the Goppert Event Center, which is the brand new facility on campus at Unity Village. It is spectacular. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be our opportunity to land on both feet with a big bang. The music director for the retreat this year, which is October 6th to 10th, is Ricky Byers. And also great lineup of speakers and other programs and experientials, and it's a thrill-packed week. And because we have access to the Goppert Center and we can be bigger than we've been in the past, on Tuesday evening that week, on October 7th, we're doing an open house. We're basically inviting everybody in the area who wants to come in for our evening event to join us. It's going to feature a concert with Ricky Byers, a talk by Martha Creek, special announcements from Unity, CSL, and other organizations about cool things that are coming up, a sound bath. We're going to do a candlelight labyrinth walk where we take that North America's largest paver labyrinth and put a couple hundred candles on it and take a walk there. It is going to be a spectacular evening. All the stuff is on the website, as I mentioned, antn.org, and you can go find information there. The big thing to do is you click the See All Events, and it'll show you the whole list instead of just the 3 or 4 that fit on the homepage.
Thank you, Bill. Excellent, excellent. Michelle, what have you got for us?
Yeah, well, what else could be added to that?
I
Bill
know.
said, thank you so much, Bill. That was amazing. Bill's our Anton's administrator, for those of you who don't know that, and he holds us in line. Bill is the glue that holds Anton together. So
Not kidding.
thank you, Bill,
Not
for the fabulous everything that you do. The only thing I would add is that most people I'm looking at on this call are already members of Anton, but not everyone is. So I would just offer an invitation. If you are not a member of Anton, please consider that. We have individual memberships, we have organizational memberships, and there are so many ways in which we are one of our sub intentions. Our vision is to connect the New Thought community through consciousness and love.
Mhm.
And a subtext under that is, how can we support our members? What can we do as an organization to support our members? And so we have a variety of ways and programs and offerings that are really geared to help our members in whatever area they may desire support. They include financial, mentoring, all sorts of things that we do for our members. So it's not like, you pay your money and then you never hear from us again. No. You hear from us, and we are here for you. So on that website that Bill referred to, there is a place that says join us. And I just want to extend an invitation for you to join us. And finally, to say that you don't have to join us to take advantage of a lot of things Anton offers, including the retreat. Although if you remember, the retreat is less expensive. Just a little plug there. All right, that's it for me. Thank you, guys.
That is beautiful.
This was great. Denise and Mark and Kathy, all of you, thank you so much for sharing of your love light and your amazing campus with us.
Exactly. Beautiful. All right. So we are just at the end of it. Denise, is there anything, Denise, Mark, or Kathy, if there's any last thing that you want to share with us before we jump off? Thank you so much for being here. This has been so informative.
All good.
Appreciate
All
it.
good. Okay. Everybody's good. All right. Well, oops. Oh, that's right.
You've
All
had a
right.
snack for us.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. This is
It took
such
me
a
all
calorie-free
morning
snack, Gary.
to do this.
That's all
Beautiful.
gluten-free, right? And no calories.
No calories.
That's beautiful.
Now I'm really
Yeah.
hungry.
I know, right?
It's also
All right, everybody.
halal. So
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll
Bill.
hopefully see you next month.
Thanks, PJ. It
Have a
was
great
great to
week.
meet
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you so much for being here, Denise. It was wonderful.
See you
Thank you.
later.
Yeah. All right.